Forwards. This video is part of episode 6, Getting Started with VoiceAttack, in our voice control series. In this episode, we will go through how to create a button hold command, as well as the required stop commands needed to release held buttons or end certain actions. Creating a command to hold down a button is done in a very similar way to pressing a button. First, we need to open the Edit Profile screen by selecting the pencil icon. And then, we wish to create a new command, so we select New Command. This brings up the editor screen. Next, we need to select our chosen method of activation. In this instance, we will be using voice, so we will select this command is executed when I say. As we are using voice, we will need to set a command word. In this example, we will use forwards. Next, as we wish to operate a key being held down, in this case W, we will select the key press option. You will once again be at the Enter Key Press screen. This time, in order to hold a button down infinitely, rather than selecting Press and Release Key, we will instead select Press Key. After which, we can select W by either pressing on Press Key and W, or by selecting it from the drop-down menu. Once you are happy, press OK. You can now see that we have this command is executed when I say forwards, and when I say forwards, the command presses down the W key. At this point we can press OK, and we can now see in our profile that we have the command for jump and forwards, which presses down the W key. It is very important to note that we will need some sort of stop command in order to eventually release the W key, because as it is now, if we were to say this command, the W key would be held down infinitely with no way to turn it off. Stop commands are very important, and we would recommend having a stop everything command in all of your profiles. Stop commands can either be their own voice command, such as stop to stop everything, or they can be woven into the action sequence of other voice controls. For example, if you have the voice command to hold down a walk forwards button and another to hold down the walk backwards button, if both commands had been issued at the same time, they would both be active at the same time and thus cancel each other out. This would result in you standing still. Backwards. Forwards. What you can do instead is to put a stop command into your walk forwards command and vice versa. This means that when you say walk forwards, it will automatically stop and release the walk backwards command, and similarly, when you say walk backwards, it will release the walk forwards command, so you will always be able to walk in your desired direction. Forwards. Backwards. Forwards. Creating a stop command works in much the same way as creating a hold button command, but with one minor change. Create a new command using the steps we followed previously by selecting Edit Profile and New Command. Make sure to enter the command word you wish to use, in this case, stop. In the second section of the editor screen labelled When this command executes, do the following sequence, select Key Press. Even though we are technically releasing a key, the key press button relates to any action that involves manipulating a keyboard input, such as pressing, holding, or releasing keys. A stop command essentially releases all the keys that might be held down. To create a specific stop command, such as to stop walking forwards, we will need the command to release the W key. To achieve this, in the Add a Key Press menu, we will select the Release Keys option, and then select the W key, and press OK. This command will now release the W key if it is being held down at all by any previous commands, such as our pre-existing forwards command. We recommend having a stop everything command in your profile just in case something goes amiss. To make this command, you may follow the previous steps by selecting Edit Profile and New Command. And this time we'll put our command word as stop everything. However, this time, instead of creating an action to release one singular button, we can create an action sequence to release all the buttons that we are currently using in our profile. For example, we could create release the W key. However, if we were to use all of the other direction keys, we could also create stop commands for those. So we would simply repeat the process with release the S key, release the D key, and release the A key, effectively giving us release forwards, backwards, right, and left in a single command. We could continue doing this for every hold command that was in your profile. VoiceAttack does offer a second method to create a stop everything command. If you do not wish to go through and select a key press release for every hold button in your profile, we can instead go to Other, VoiceAttack Action, and select Stop Processing All Commands. We now have the command that when we say stop everything, VoiceAttack will detect which commands are being processed and stop processing them, effectively stopping all commands. This is an ideal alternative if you have many buttons that you wish to release at the same time, or you simply don't want to go through and release them all individually. However, it will stop processing any and all commands at the same time, so you may lose a slight level of control from doing it the individual method way.
Hold RT.
Finally, you may wish to add a stop command into another pre-existing command. This can be useful for things such as movement, contradictory actions such as accelerate and brake, or to simply reduce the amount of voice commands in a profile. You can either add this to an existing action sequence by right-clicking and selecting Edit, or you can add it to the beginning of a new action sequence. To add a stop, you will add a release keys command using the same steps as before. Key press, release keys, and then select the key you wish to release, in this case S for backwards. If you are adding this to a pre-existing command, you may want to move the new stop command to the top of the action sequence. The action sequence occurs top down. Therefore, if you would like the stop command to happen before anything else, it must be at the top of the action sequence. You can move the order of actions in the action sequence by selecting the desired action and pressing either move up or move down. So in this case, since we would like the backwards key to be released before the forwards key is pressed, we will move release S to the top of the action sequence so that it occurs first, and then press OK. So now our forwards command will first release the S key for backwards, and then press down the forwards key, resulting in us moving forwards. We can then press Apply to save our changes, and done. Thanks for watching. In the next part, we will go over how to create macros in VoiceAttack.